Hey Circuit Riders, welcome back. We have just been making a pit stop for a few weeks here in southern Maine at Moody Beach Thousand Trails in Wells, Maine. We've been here plenty of times before. I'm just taking my daily walk around the campground. I try to do a couple miles each day, but if the weather's not great, I might do some yoga in the RV, which you might have seen before. So we're getting more physically active here at Circuit Ridin RV. Anyway, I just passed the cutest little Habitrail tent out in someone's yard here at the campground. I've never seen ferrets. Now I'm sure plenty of people have ferrets in their campers, but I've never seen them, and there's 3 in this one. So I asked the lady if I could take a little video. They're very cute. Now I've seen mini pigs, like little potbelly pigs at campgrounds before. I think we've seen those twice. And I've seen a giant parrot out on a stick, stand out in the front yard of a camper, and of course countless dogs and cats, but never ferrets. So we've been spending the past few weeks in southern Maine. We've been visiting with our kids in New England and visiting with friends, just working, doing life. Jason had a trip in there.
Up to Winnipeg.
But we wanted to do a little outing in Maine to show you. So we've come up to Portland today, Portland, Maine.
One of our favorite spots.
And this is a special place for us because we were married here in South Portland in 1993. Jason was working at that time as a youth pastor at a church in South Portland. And I was working here in the Old Port. The Old Port is the old section of Portland down near the coast, where the ships used to come in, and
well, it's the
very
commercial
cool down
waterfront,
there.
which it still is, but now other things are here for tourists and just good stuff.
Maybe we'll try to walk by where I used to work down the Old Port, but first we're going to the original Maine store because we want to get a special birthday present for Jason. So you've probably already seen our Maine flag that we have. It's the original 1909 Maine state flag with the pine tree and the star on it. We love that. We have a magnet of the same thing, and I have a t-shirt of the same thing that I got in Camden. But today we are on the hunt for a hat. Yeah. Jason would like to have a Maine hat.
Which is all from these guys kind of reappropriated that old design and have made a whole business out of it. So that's where we got that stuff from.
Let's see what we can find.
More my beard.
I love these pillows. Maybe we'll get one for a cabin someday.
Yeah, sure. But I want one of the mesh ones.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
I like the green.
Yeah, no, you can do that. Stickers if you like.
So 30 years ago when we first got married, I worked at a little medical newsletter company. It was just me and the boss here in the Old Port. And it's right in this doorway right here. And we had the stairs that went way up top, and then we would work up here in these offices. But it was so fun to work down here in the Old Port. I loved all the little shops and restaurants, and sometimes Jason would come over from the church and meet me for lunch. And it was such a cool place to start our married life. Now we only lived here for about 18 months before we moved to upstate New York, and Jason was working at a church in New York. So we always love coming back here and just walking around the old Port. So we're just gonna walk a couple blocks down to the waterfront now to hop on the Peaks Island ferry. Now there's a bunch of little islands in Casco Bay right here off of Portland and a little bit north of here. But Peaks Island is a great little afternoon day trip. The ferry ride is only about 15 minutes to get over there, and it goes all the time. And we're just gonna go over there and walk around a little bit, maybe have a little dinner. So Commercial Street down here by the water is still very much a working waterfront. They've got all kinds of wharfs down here with businesses, shipping and stuff.
It's nice how it's integrated with shops and restaurants.
So Peaks Island is about 1 square mile in area, and it has about 1,000 year-round residents, maybe up to 4,000 in the summer. Right now it's early summer, kind of mid-June, and a little bit cool today, but there's plenty of people wandering around. It's a nice walking island. We have been here before with our kids, and we rented bikes and biked around the outside of the island several years ago
You can
before
bike the whole
COVID.
thing, and it's a nice trip.
Yeah, easy bike. What's under here?
It's the steamers.
Nice.
Where's the butter?
Well, it's the end of the day. We had a good walk. We walked almost 6 miles today, I think.
Oh yeah.
Over 5.5 between the old port and here. And a great dinner. Now we're gonna catch the ferry back. So thanks for coming along with us today. Hope you enjoyed it. And next week, well, maybe not next week, but in the next video, we are gonna be heading up to our land in northern Maine for the rest of the summer. While we're up there, we're gonna take a big trip over to Canada, which we'll take you along with. But in the next video, we'll show you what the state of our Maine land is. We haven't seen it since end of last summer. So that'll be interesting. So come along for that. And until then, hope you have a great week. Thanks, bye guys. Wow, the fog really rolled in.